Today I'll be reviewing Boruto chapter 27, The Breakdown of Negotiations. So this chapter confirmed a major fan theory, I guess, and it was already pretty obvious. It was set up and sort of implied, but this chapter 100% confirmed that Jigen is the one that gave Kawaki the karma seal. He didn't beat Urashiki like some people predicted for some reason. Jigen is the one who gave it to him, and it was shown how Jigen gives the karma seal to people, and we also see him experimenting on other children in this chapter. But one major question I have after reading this chapter is, how did Jigen himself acquire the karma seal? If I had to guess, I would say he got it from an Ototsuki, considering he has some sort of a connection to them. But maybe someone gave it to an Ototsuki and gave it to him, or maybe somehow he stole it. We'll probably find out in the upcoming chapters. But before I get into the chapter itself, on the first page it says we're getting 41 pages because this is the most popular monthly manga. And I guess it having 41 pages is also the reason why we don't have a color page this time. It also says that the anime will be changing its time slot to Sunday at 5:30 p.m. So it'll come out at around 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US. And I believe it's starting after the 4th, October 4th. So yeah, if you're wondering why there's no more Boruto on Thursday after that point, that'll be why. Now back to the chapter. Let's talk about the actual chapter. This chapter went by really quick to me. I feel like I got through it faster than I usually do. And I had to actually check if there were 41 pages because, I just got through it so quickly. So with this chapter, we got a bit more about Kawaki. This chapter probably did better than the other chapter that was actually titled Kawaki. Because in that other chapter, we learned more about his power. But this one, I feel like we got more of Kawaki himself. Because in the last chapter, he said he was sorry about the vase in the end. But in this chapter, he even says that he's willing to go buy another one for her. And from start to finish in this chapter, we really just, I feel like we get a better understanding of who Kawaki really is. So the chapter starts off with Himawari and Hinata planting the flower from the vase that Kawaki broke, and Hinata basically tells her that it was the thought that counts. Then we switch over to Boruto, who wakes up and has to take a piss like most people do, and Kawaki says that he has to too, and then they argue about who's gonna use the bathroom first, and Boruto says that it's his house, and Naruto's just in there like, both of you need to shut up because I'm in here now. And then he tells them both to just go take a piss outside. And as soon as they're done, they start fighting and both their karma seals activates, which is kind of funny because of how ridiculous it is. It's funny that it got to that level that their karma seals would activate, or maybe their karma seals just activate whenever, like they both are feeling the same emotion or whatever. Because I think the karma seal definitely resonates their emotions in some sort of fashion or way. And since Boruto and Kawaki are fighting while Naruto's on the toilet, so he sends out his shadow clone and says, "Can I take a shit in peace?" And while they're having breakfast, Boruto questions why Naruto has been home all the time, and Himawari just bothers him and stops that question by basically saying that he's happy that Naruto's here all the time. And we can see Kawaki just observing them in silence because he's definitely not used to growing up with a family, seeing as how he had an abusive father, and then he was in a test tube. So this is all very different to him. And I can kind of draw similarities between Sasuke and Naruto when they were kids, because they both had things in common, like being alone and wanting to be the best. But with Boruto and Kawaki, they both have the karma seal that they were burdened with, and Kawaki is similar to Naruto because they were both alone and were treated differently, and Boruto is similar to Sasuke in definitely more ways than one, considering they're both talented and have a dojutsu. But what I want to compare, if I was going to draw a similarity to them, I would say that they both felt lost, like when Sasuke lost his clan and Boruto lost Naruto's care, which is what he felt like. They're both drastically different, but they both felt basically the same about it, or similar enough. So after that, Kawaki talks to Boruto and asks him again where he got his karma seal, and Boruto says it was from Momoshiki Ototsuki and says he got it after their fight. Then Boruto asks Kawaki where he got his seal from, and then we get another flashback of Kawaki, and we see him in some sort of bag with tubes in it around him, and then we see another child below, and Jigen is talking to Amando, his assistant, or the scientist that helps him conduct his research or experiments. And then he asks him how long is he going to continue because he doesn't know how many people have died. And Kawaki says that, well, he basically asks if that has anything to do with anything. So he doesn't really care that like the children have died in his experiments. He also says that he doesn't have time or options left. He says that we don't have time or options left, referring to the Kara, and says that the Kara seeks a vessel. So all of them seek a vessel. I wonder if like the rest of them already have their vessel or if they're already in their vessel. I'm wondering if they're going to take over their bodies or if Jigen's going to take over Kawaki's body, similar to what Orochimaru used to do. But I don't really see why he would, considering he already has the Karma Seal himself. And in this chapter, we see him activated, and he kind of looked like Momoshiki. We see him with like the markings all over his face. And he kind of looked like a rock star. I don't really get the look he had. But I guess with the hair and then the seals, he kind of looked like a rock star. Now that I think about it, Momoshiki looked like he had face tattoos too. Now that I think about it, they both kind of look like demons, but maybe Kawaki is like a demon version of the Otsutsuki clan. That's what the Kara is. If the Otsutsuki are gods, the Kara organization would be demons. I don't know. So we see Jigen stick his arm in like the fluid that the other kids have, that the other kids are in. And then we see one of the boys get like the markings, the karma markings all over him, and then he suffocates and dies. And then Jigen looks at Kawaki and says, "You won't disappoint me either, right?" Afterwards, Kawaki says he made it, but he wished he would have died, rather than continuing to spend his days in hell. And Boruto just looks completely shook hearing his full backstory. And as us as readers, we can probably like kind of feel for Kawaki in a way, even though we know what he's gonna do later and how he's been acting recently. It seems like he doesn't deserve it, but after hearing his story, I can definitely not relate, but I can feel a bit of sympathy for him. Because like if you've been through his life, I mean, you're not gonna have an upbeat, hopeful, cheery personality. You'll probably end up like him. And the fact that he was willing to apologize to Himawari, who probably has had like the complete total opposite life of him, and he says he's willing to get a new vase for her, shows that his character is more than just being attached to his past and distant from people. Afterwards, he asks Boruto if he wants to get rid of this brand, referring to the karma, and tells him that the reason he left the Kara was basically because he wants to figure out how to get rid of it because he can't live freely without it. And he asks Boruto if he wants to work with him since it'll be beneficial to both of them. And Boruto agrees but says no because of the vase. And I'm like, really? Come on. I feel like Naruto would have done the same thing at his age, but like, come on. I don't know if I should like even take Boruto's side, agree with him, or look for a reason, because I can't see any reason why Boruto should say no. I know he broke his little sister's vase, and to just team up with the guy that broke his vase without getting her a new one would be kind of scumbaggish, but I guess that is reason enough, but still. Kawaki did apologize and said he'd get her a new one. And then Boruto walks off because he has like a mission or something. And then Naruto talks to Kawaki afterwards and says that Boruto is pretty stubborn and tells him not to worry about the vase. Then Kawaki tells Naruto that he'll buy a new one, that he'll go out to get one, and that he doesn't have to worry about him not coming back because he can't run. And Naruto's like, wait, you don't have any money. He's like, don't worry, I'll get one. And basically he's gonna steal one. But Naruto says to just follow him, and I'm guessing he's gonna take him someplace where he can go make a vase or pick a vase for free or something. But that's the end of the chapter. So it looks like we're gonna get more what everyone's pretty much predicting, more Naruto and Boruto Kawaki bonding stuff. Because with this chapter, I feel like they're doing a better job establishing Boruto and Kawaki's relationship as compared to what Naruto and Sasuke's was in part 1. Like in this small amount of time, there's less than 30 chapters, and I feel like they've done better setting up Boruto and Kawaki's relationship to Naruto's. Cause we didn't really like in Naruto Part 1, Sasuke like left in like under 200 episodes, and there were like 220. We got more filler than we did Naruto and Sasuke actually bonding and seeing their relationship. But with this chapter, we can definitely see Boruto and Kawaki's relationship developing and like them slowly understanding each other or getting to know each other. And Naruto and Sasuke in part 1 just seemed like they didn't like each other, but somehow they had a relationship that wasn't really established. I guess it was only kind of there in like the Land of Waves arc, but then maybe like pre-tuning exams, and then in the tuning exams, but after that, I don't know. I don't really feel like they had an established like relationship to the point where Naruto was willing to die to go and get Sasuke. But maybe I just need to watch part 1 over again and I might have just missed something. But from what I can see in these like past few chapters, I can definitely see Boruto and Kawaki building a bond, and even kind of with Naruto. Well, not yet with Naruto, but definitely with Boruto. And I really want to see where this all leads, because in episode 1, Kawaki says to Naruto, I'm going to send you where it says to Boruto, I'm going to send you where I sent the 7th. And I don't know, it implies that he died, which is what we're all thinking, because that's always what you mean when you say something like that. But maybe he sent Naruto to somewhere where he wouldn't have to fight or something. I don't know. I doubt it, but it's probably just a major tease, but who knows. I guess as we see like Kawaki and Naruto's relationship develop, we'll see I guess we'll be able to predict what actually happened to Naruto. Because if Kawaki really builds a bond with him, despite what his mind will tell him to do, his heart will tell him something differently. That's a like major shonen trope. But then again, Kawaki's like all technology on the inside, so I don't know, this is kind of weird. And considering the fact that Kawaki still has the Karma Seal in the future, it means that he and Boruto didn't get rid of it. So if for some reason Kawaki decided that he would keep the Karma Seal and make this power his own, he'd choose to fight Boruto, or maybe he's decided to align himself with Jigen again and get over what he did to him, but I doubt it. And speaking of Jigen, he had like the full Momoshiki look, Karma Seal and everything. So I really want to know where Jigen got his power from. I'm hoping we get it in like a few chapters or so. I'm wondering if Jigen's gonna come after Kawaki himself to bring him back to the Kara, and if he'll encounter Naruto. Because we really need more about Jigen and the Kara organization itself, like how long it's been around. Like, is Jigen the true leader? Because they all have numbers on their faces, and Jigen isn't number 1. He has the Roman numeral number IV, which is 4, so I don't think he's number 4, because Delta has number 1 on her face. And then Kawaki has, what was it, 5? I'm pretty sure it's a 9. And since Delta has 1, I don't know, it's hard to really see what they're doing with all of this. But these chapters are getting very interesting. Let me know what you thought of this chapter in the comment section below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the video. I plan on doing another video later about why Mitsuki versus Kawaki would be a good fight later on, considering how similar they are. But I want to wait to see how the Mitsuki arc finishes in the anime. And speaking of the anime, they kind of retconned when Boruto and Sarada find out that Mitsuki's a synthetic human being. But I'll talk about that in a later video. Thanks for watching, and bye. Sarada found out like a chapter or 2 ago that Mitsuki was like a synthetic human being, but in the anime they found out, and the anime takes place before this. I don't know.